One of the key things that makes a good trader a great trader is how often they backtest. So, what do you want to do, or what should you do if you want to backtest fast? You don't. You go to the beach. You go to the beach. No need to backtest. Spend some time at the sea. I'm just kidding. I'll see you guys on the charts. You know what? There are people who absolutely just love to backtest. They can sit on the charts all hours of the day. That is not me. So I needed to find a more efficient way to backtest without compromising the results. And so what I'm about to show you now is that way. When you first see it, you're not going to be inclined to do it because your mind's going to say, but coach, that's cheating. Trust me, put it into action and check it out. It works. I'm going to train you to see your entry model. I'm going to train you to see what works and what does not work. I'm going to train you to mark up your charts daily and effectively. And one of the hindrances to marking up your charts daily as an end of day markup is the fact that people don't like to backtest. However, if we can do it this way and efficiently and build up a record of what works, we can then review it, do some advanced review, and then get the results we require. So jump with me onto the charts and let's look how we can make this backtesting a fast, easy, and simple process. Right, let's share my screen. Okay, so this is EU, a chart that we're looking at. We're going to try and see what we can do in terms of backtesting it. I'm not going to worry about all the time frames right now. We're just going to focus on the daily. And what we are going to do is draw out zones that clearly work, right? So we are supplying them on traders, and our education and our coaches know what we teach regarding all the setups, our students as well. However, for this particular video, all I'm going to do is show you how to backtest, right? So we're going to mark out areas that clearly cause a reaction in the market. So we got a supply zone over here, and we're going to mark that in red as we often do with our students, right? And as we can see, when price came up, went in there and it dropped down, right? We also have another supply zone over here, and again when price came in, it dropped down, right? What else can we see? Well, we can see there is a breakup structure, so we're marking that on. I know what you're thinking, coach. How is this back testing? Wait for it. You shall see. We do another breaker structure over there, and we mark that one on, right? So we're starting just to formulate the idea of what worked. Now imagine for a day, this was one day. Obviously I'm on the daily chart now, so we know it's not one day, but imagine this is what you traded that day and you marked it out. This will be sort of a forward test and back test example. So now you've got one thing, you've got this. What else can you see? We can see that we are in a downtrend, right? We're on a downtrend. We're making lower lows and lower highs, right? So let's just mark that out. Downtrend. So we got a downtrend over there. That's quite clear that we are moving in a downward trajectory, right? And we can visualize that over here. That is a clearly defined downtrend, and we've got our zones that worked, right? So what you're trying to do with this process of backtesting is you're trying to make sure that you put as much information on your chart, mark out as much information as possible, right? So we're going to do all of those kind of things, and you can mark out more things. If you use indicators or whatever, you can mark out as much. I'm going to try and keep this simple so you can see the actual concept. Now that's just been like 1 minute. I've already marked out my zones. We can even go as far as marking out current zones as well. We kind of see that there's been some form of reaction over there, right? It still has to play out over time, but there's been some form of reaction over there. We can go further back as well, assuming that this is something lower than the daily chart. We can get as much entries as possible over a period of time to actually look at, right? So what we're going to do is with this particular time frame chart, we are going to now go to and we're gonna name it on the chart, right? We don't have to do it, but visually it's just easier to see. So we're gonna name it daily, right? Daily. Okay, so that's our daily time frame. And then we're gonna go to this little camera icon here on top, and we're gonna hit save. This is very important. You absolutely have to be saving your daily markups. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that saved image that just saved over now. You can take a link and copy it into an Excel document, but I'm going to take the saved image and I'm going to throw it into a folder, mark it my daily on Euro USD, daily on Euro USD, right? And that will be my trading journal folder. Then what I'm going to do now is sort of go into, I've got that daily screenshot. What I'm going to do now is go deeper into this particular trade and try and see how does my entries look, right? Because I'm backtesting, trying to gain data and understanding. So now I'll go perhaps down to my 4 hour, right? 4 hour, and I'm gonna look inside of those zones again. And I promise you, after doing this a few times, you're going to start seeing some similarities, right? So what I'm gonna do on my 4 hour is kind of investigate all of those pullbacks again and what happened, right? What happened when price went in. So I'm going to start marking off and circling this over here and circling that over there and circling that over there. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to screenshot this and save it again. So what I am seeing over here, for instance, on this particular time frame, the 4 hour, is that we also had a 4 hour break structure, right? We also had one over here. Okay, this is going to get good, right? And then we also had one over here. So already between the higher time frame and the lower time frame, I'm seeing some common themes, right? And what I'm going to do with this again is go back up to that icon and save that chart. This time in a folder that's the 4 hour, that says 4 hour. I should change this, right? Change this to the H4. Now this will save with your chart, so it's okay if you don't want to type it on your chart. I just like the actual visual. But now I'll go down and I'll hit the 4 hour and I'll save that into my trading journal folder. And now I've got data on how my entries look and what happened in price. And I've also got an example of what I could possibly have taken out of the market. So for instance, let's say I got in over here, right, on this particular trade, and I ran it to this first set of lows. Let's say I ran it to the first set of lows, assuming that this was not a 4 hour, just a different time frame, and I ran it to this lows. I said to myself, okay, you know what, that could be 5% on my account. I could do the same with these particular ones. But what's the benefit of this? Number one, it trains your eyes to see how your entry model should be. Number two, it gets you used to and gives you more time on the chart. Number three, it helps you see trend. Number four, it helps you mark up and keep an accurate trading journal. Now, some of you just learned something new today. What if you came in and scored that area, scored that zone, right? What if you put a score to that zone as well? And now you're starting to formulate an idea and understand how the market moves while backtesting in a super fast manner, right? So people are often saying, you know what you got to do is you got to replay the chart and then you got to see if you would have gotten the entry, and that's fine and well. The problem with that is that how do you learn anything if you have not learned it in hindsight first? You know what? Let me stop sharing share. Let me say that again. Everybody learns in hindsight. So when we try and jump ahead of the curve and try and tell ourselves that we know how to trade, we tell ourselves that we know how to take entries and things, and when we fail, we just tend to move on, never try to actually fix what is wrong. However, when we do it this way, where we learn in hindsight, we mark out what worked, what has been working, we tend to find that we train our brain to understand and to look for our entry models in a more efficient and direct way. Now, if you're trading a few pairs, every single person hearing my voice right now could do this per day. it should take you approximately 10 to 15 minutes per chart, and you would begin to build up a large record of successful trades. Then you could take one weekend, one day, and sit and look through all of them, making your notes regarding what you have seen inside of that zone. Guess what that's going to do for you? It's going to give you the necessary data to formulate an effective working trade plan. You will learn things like discipline because you can measure on the chart how long it took to actually get entry. You will learn things like entry models and patience just because you've taken the time to actually gather data. Let me give you this tip. The key to your success is data gathered through yourself. You have to discipline yourself to do backtesting, but this is a faster way and easier way to get the same results. So if you will do it, you will succeed. Enjoy this. Been Coach Chadwin. With Kingdom Day Traders, mindset, multiplication, and management. Please drop a like, please drop a comment, please share, please subscribe. Love to see you again soon.